So Steve, let's talk about January 6th. What happened that day in your mind, and why does that disqualify President Trump?
I think that Donald Trump was unwilling to accept the results of the elections. I think that he fabricated slates of electors in order to have his vice president pick him to be the winner in the Capitol building on January 6th, even though he didn't have the votes or the evidence to support it. I think that is a wholly undemocratic thing. I think that it is destructive and undermines our democratic process of governance.
Do you attribute the violence on January 6th to Trump?
Largely, yes.
Okay, why?
I think that Donald Trump had been stoking the flames a year before the election, saying that the election was going to be rigged. I think that Donald Trump stoked all of these claims basically with no evidence, and then I think that he continued to stoke the flames while fabricating them, that the election had been stolen, that there was voter fraud, and then he invited people on the day of the certification, telling them that their election had been stolen, their country was being taken from them, they needed to fight like hell, that they were going to lose everything. He knew what he was inviting them there for, he knew what he was asking them to do, he knew, yeah.
He also told them to go down to the Capitol peacefully and patriotically, right? What time did protesters first go into the Capitol? What time did they first enter the Capitol?
I think it was around 10 a.m., I think is when the Capitol grounds were breached.
No, 2:11 p.m.
No, to be clear, that's not true.
2:11 p.m. is when protesters first entered the United States Capitol.
There's the grounds that were secured outside, though. Okay. Those grounds were breached while Trump was still giving his speech at the Ellipse.
Okay, let's talk about the entrance of the Capitol, because that would be more severe in your mind than simply walking onto the property, right? Can you concede that point?
Probably not. I think they were all really bad, but yeah.
Okay, well, entering the Capitol, let's just mark that point. 2:11, what should Trump have done at that point?
As soon as the Capitol grounds themselves were breached, he probably should have put out a statement on social media telling people that they needed to go home instead of telling them that Pence had failed them and basically encouraging the violence to continue.
So what if I told you at 2:38 p.m. President Trump tweeted, "Stay peaceful"? He tweeted that to his supporters, "Stay peaceful."
He tweeted
27 minutes later.
He tweeted that after Ashley Babbitt, I believe, had already been shot and killed.
Okay,
so what does it mean when you tell your people to stay peaceful? They're not being peaceful. That doesn't make any sense, right?
2:38 p.m., 27 minutes after the Capitol protesters had entered, he said, "Stay peaceful." Okay, at 3:13, he said, "Law and order." At 4:17, he posted a video saying, "Go home now." So what on earth was he supposed to have done? I'm not happy about some of the violence that we saw on January 6th, but let's put it in context.
Well,
Steve,
wait, you just said it. You just said what he should have done. The tweet that he did at 4:17.
No, that was a video. That was the third call.
It was it was the first time that he told them to go home.
Stay peaceful. 27 minutes after the Capitol protested entered the Capitol.
After Ashley Babbitt had already been shot and killed, they weren't being peaceful. Why are we saying stay peaceful?